If you're looking for an affordable, modular, and rugged option to provide a little bit of additional rigging to your FX30 or your FX3, then you might be in luck, because today I'm going to be reviewing the camera cage from Sirui for the FX3 and the FX30. It's this little guy. Now, full disclosure, they sent me this camera cage for review, but no money changed hands and they don't get any input on the making of this video, so my opinions are my own. For those of you that are new around here, my name's Riley and I'm a documentary filmmaker. Now, for some context, I really do like and prefer filming with small cinema and mirrorless cameras, and the reason for this is that having a larger camera package, something that would need to be off the shoulder or look more like a journalist, would just create unwanted attention and unnecessary stress when I'm on these projects. So every time that I've traveled overseas to the Middle East or to Africa, I end up taking with me something that is in a similar form factor to this. Now, the specific mirrorless camera body has changed throughout the years, but the one thing that has remained constant is the need for a camera cage. And the reason for this is because while these cameras are small and that creates some advantages that I just mentioned, there's also some drawbacks. And really the reason for that is because they're just, without a camera cage, there just isn't a way to attach things that I feel like are necessary for me to be able to work with it. And so to be able to attach a top handle, you really need a cage. To be able to attach something like a lav mic or a shotgun mic, you need a way to mount it, and a cage makes that possible. When I bought the FX30, I was super excited, but there are a couple of ergonomic downsides to the FX30 and the FX3 for that matter, that having a camera cage would help to solve. Number one is that on the bottom of the camera, there's only one tripod screw hole. And so what this means is that the tripod plate can wiggle and become loose over time. And so having a camera cage with two screw holes is something that I really wanted. And as well, having a camera cage that had enough mounting points on the side that I could attach a cold shoe to and would allow me to attach a lav mic to the side of the camera is something that I felt like was really important and was going to be helpful in making the FX30 and the FX3 a lot more usable. This is where the cage from Sirui comes in. Not only does the cage solve both of these ergonomical issues, but it adds some additional flexibility that I find really nice. Now, the cage, right now I have it configured in the full cage version where it has the top plate, it's got the side plate on the left that goes from the side of the camera down underneath and adds the two tripod screw holes, and then it has another side plate on the right that you can attach this nice wrist strap to. Then the wrist strap comes with the kit as well. But what's nice is that this can be configured in both a half cage and a full cage option. So if for some reason you wanted a slightly lower profile to lose some weight, or you just weren't finding yourself needing this strap and you didn't want this side plate on the right hand side, there are 3 screws that are really easy to access and remove. And when you do that, it means that you can take this side handle bracket off really easily and be able to remove it, and you have yourself a really nice low profile half cage. And so really what's nice is kind of depending on the scenario and your shooting style, you aren't really stuck with having to remove the full cage, reattach a half cage and kind of switching back and forth between 2 separate cages. This guy really does come apart pretty intuitively and pretty simply, but when it's attached, it's pretty rugged and rigid and sturdy. So you're not stuck with one or the other. You can really use both depending on the circumstance that's right for you. And then as well, the top plate on this cage is nice because it's not a proprietary top plate to Sirui. It is a usable NATO rail. What this means is that you could use the included top handle that comes with the cage, and it slots on like that and twists on really nice and easily. It has these 2 little locating pins on it that keep it from twisting. So you can screw it on and it'll screw down nice and tight and it won't twist on you. But if you have a top handle that you really want to use, or you want to use a NATO attachment, then you can take something like this top handle and just slide it on real nice and easy. So it's really nice because this top plate isn't proprietary to Sirui. I know that there are other Fx3 and Fx30 camera cages out there that tend to be a little bit more proprietary, and so if you want to use top handles or other kind of attachments with the camera cage, then you're stuck with that manufacturer's proprietary accessories, and this one isn't the case. You can kind of customize it to your needs, which I really appreciate. One note about the top plate though is that it is a NATO rail, which I really like, but the one thing that I do think it might be missing is there's not a safety pin, and so any sort of NATO accessory is just going to slide right on and off, and so you do have to make sure that it is clamped down tight. The kit also comes with an HDMI cable clamp, which is nice, and another nice feature is that it has some really cleverly integrated magnetic tools. And what I mean by this is if you look on the bottom of the camera, there is this little tool here that is just attached to the bottom with a little tiny magnet, and it'll slide in and out, and so you always have a little tool with you that if you want to take something off, well, you've got a tool that fits perfectly, and you can, you know, tighten or unscrew the stuff really nicely. And then as well, there's another magnetic tool on the top handle. There is this little Allen wrench that's kind of hidden in the top handle, and this little tool also is the tool that you'll need to unscrew the side plate right here. And so if you want to break it down to a half cage, you really do have all of the tools just attached to the cage and ready to go, which I think is pretty smart and clever. There's also more than enough space on this cage to be able to attach a cold shoe mount to the side of the cage, and what this allows me to do is take something like this wireless receiver and just be able to attach it to the side of the cage, and it'll free up some real estate on this top handle to be able to attach a monitor, or even just to be able to hold it and not have this mic pack be competing with sort of the real estate up here. And I can utilize the space on the actual body of the camera and just have a little bit more of a comfortable way to operate the camera for longer periods of time. Overall, I think that this cage from Sirui is one of the best options on the market. It's well made, has a smart layout, and a very neutral, customizable design. You have half cage and full cage options in the same kit, and as well, it doesn't rely on proprietary attachments, meaning if you want to use a different top handle or you want to add a side handle, whatever you want to do for your rigging, this cage is going to allow you to do that. And in my opinion, that's what a good camera cage should do. It needs to be well made and trustworthy, but it also needs to be a good neutral starting point that doesn't force you into a certain set of accessories from that same manufacturer. It should allow you to customize your rig to suit your needs and to be able to kind of come up with whatever unique solution that your shoot is requiring you to come up with. So this cage definitely has my personal recommendation, and as well, if I had to buy another FX30 hypothetically in the future, this is the cage that I would want to have on it. Alright, that is going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this cage, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. I'd be happy to answer them. And as well, please consider subscribing. It really is the best way to help me support this channel. Alright, thanks so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.